This session is really interesting. So far, we've been talking about, we started with the European Performance for Buildings Directive and the Cyber Resilience Act. We have very nice panel discussions and presentations, guest speakers. Then we jump into KNX IoT from the device perspective. So as we know, KNX in twisted pair and radio frequency, but with a new approach. Hi, Hemayan.
Hi.
Warming up the audience. And then we were talking about the new open source stack for device development. And the previous presentation with Duarte, he explained his cooperation with Cascoda to bring up a device from twisted pair to KNX IoT over thread mesh network in a record time. And this is real experiences. This is the reality of the KNX IoT. The companies working with KNX and KNX IoT to bring new solutions, new business models into market. So now we change a bit the target and we look at the other branch of the KNX IoT, which is the API server. Long story short, we have redesigned KNX Association, the approach for applications. So it's the first time we put into place a certification for servers, which follow a standardized approach based on the new KNX information model to create an abstraction layer for the service and application providers to be able to offer solutions, applications to KNX without deep knowledge on the KNX specifications. So this is enabling a lot of companies that want to join the ecosystem to offer services and applications through this new branch known as the API server. And that's why you are here today, because this is attracting a lot of new companies. Actually, you three represent this new batch of KNX members. So I would like to ask you to please introduce yourself in 30 seconds, what you do and what your company is doing. If you allow me to start with Leticia.
Thank you, Jesus. Well, I'm Leticia. I'm an engineer and I'm working as marketing and product manager at Kumux. And I've been in the smart building industry for the last 15 years. So I'm working at Kumux, developing and promoting the service we are providing that optimizes the human-centric lighting to provide the lighting for well-being and health.
Mm-hmm.
So,
lighting is actually KNX background. Lighting, like a most important application at the beginning. Now we can see how new services, applications related to lighting are coming to the market. Kumux is a great example of that. Now let me go to Marek. Marek, SimLab.
Hi guys, my name is Marek Kozlak. I'm the founder and CEO of SimLab. SimLab is a quite young company. We are like 4 years on the market, but our main goal is to bring digital twin solutions, which is mostly visualization and the building information modeling, which is BIM data, into the building automation, and just merge this data with XYZ position inside of the space. So that's the easiest way to say. But we are trying to combine a lot of solutions around the services for the building and create a nice intuitive interface for the user, which is the one-stop place for all data around the building. So that's basically what we are doing.
Thank you very much. And also a new member, a new batch from the new batch. Hemayan, what company are you working for?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So I work for Hewlett Packard Enterprise in the Aruba business unit. And as you know, networking is fundamental for this setup and provides, like, I would say, the core connectivity of devices. So we manufacture wired and wireless devices that provide reliable, high bandwidth, secure connectivity of products, both wireless and wired.
Well, I think this is a great panel. We have two startups, Kumux and SimLab, and we have a world-recognized company in IT infrastructure, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. So, yeah, we are in the business of home and building automation. NX represents, until now, the layer of infrastructure that enables all the different applications to run in the same network. And now we have a lot of companies like SimLab and Kumux that want to add layers of application on top of this infrastructure. So there is quite a few challenges. You have your own experiences, and I want to hear what your input in the following topics. Let me open with the following. How mature is the smart home building market, in your opinion, in terms of adopting services, which can be a recurring subscription-based services or once-off, but in the concept of I have an installation and I want to add a service on top. What do you think is the maturity of this business at the moment? And let me open with Marek.
Well, okay. Services means an app, and the app is digitalization. And right now, if you're talking about the building and the property sector, it's a very buzzword because there is a significant interest which exists in property digital services. And that can be whatsoever. It can be something connected with the building automation, but it can be regular, like a ticketing system that something is broken, or I need to fix something, or I need to change fluids in the facility management software programs to fix things or maintain it or plan a service. So this unfortunately shows that this sector is very aware of those kind of the additional services, which are usually a paid subscription type of the solutions. But the true story is that it's very much defragmented. As I said, we as the company are trying to build an interface for those kind of the approach to the end user facility management and operation of the buildings. And right about now, we have at least 10 to 11 different protocols and apps already integrated. And we see we cannot even count the numbers of the requests that we are having. Oh, it would be great to also work with this kind of the partner or that partner for facility management, for asset management, for building operator, for maintenance guy, or even for the tenant, or for reporting the issues, or rent charging to tenants, and it's coming from everywhere to us. So I see that the market is becoming very mature, but it's very fragmented because those sectors don't speak to each other.
So there is you said the word aware, so there's an awareness. So we're in the stage of awareness, but there is a complexity in the adoption. Leticia, I know Kumux has been heavily investing in adopting many different platforms as well. And what is your experience?
Yes, our experience is that the demand of applications in all the smart buildings is growing. As Marek said, for facility management, for controls monitoring, and also having into account the energy efficiency and the energy savings that is is in top of mind when a smart building system is installed. So there's a full range of features and applications that could be based on a service, and it's an opportunity for the industry. But I think the adoption of the service model is not yet mature. Even it's an increased interest on adopting this model.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like there's still a lot to be done for the adoption. Humayun, from the infrastructure perspective, and also having the horizontal overview of other sectors, what do you think is our current situation?
Yeah, see, I mean, if you see this market is growing, whether it's the IoT devices, smart lighting, overall this market is transforming quite quickly and growing. From our side, providing the basic infrastructure, both wired and wireless, is critical, and that's what we do. And we see shift towards network as a service. But in this case, I believe the installer or the integrator comes into a picture, because he's the one who kind of brings all these technologies together. And it's important that how they educate the customer in order to understand what benefits as a service provides to the customer, whether it is to do with the financial model or it is to do with adapting technologies quickly. So while I see movement towards as a service, but I think the adaptation, I think it's a bit slow, but is moving in the right direction. And I think the system integrator or the installer will play a critical role in making sure that the customers are educated on the benefits of this.
I think that's very important. In our community, we have manufacturers or solution providers, then we have the system integrators, over 120,000 certified installers. What's been, and they are probably the prescribers, or the ones that reached out to the customers, business, small medium enterprise, building owners, home owners. What is your experience, SimLab and Kumux, with the prescription of the service? How are you doing it?
Well, in our case, we are very focused on the prescription target. So we are in the lighting industry also. So we are part building automation and part lighting industry. So it's even more complex environment, because we need to put all those parts together that usually are separated, and it makes projects complicated because coordinating all those parts are difficult. So we are trying to match all those stakeholders in projects, and educating lighting designers into the control systems, and also trying to educate the control systems into lighting benefits. So we are focused on those two targets, and I think education and explaining the benefits of matching those parts are very important.
Education again. Marek, what channels, how you approach those, the ones who prescribe the solution?
Well, for us, it's tough, because we are also totally cloud-based, subscription-based solution for all of the customers. And we, from the home automation, building automation sectors, we have a lot of requests of like a one-time license, and the people are stuck in that mindset already. And that's a challenge for us, talking to the integrators, because that's how they used to work so far. So we are trying to just educate them and show them the benefits. And the benefits are huge, because if we have like a cross-platform solution, like Kumux has as well, as I know, is that we are always developing. We are always working on the updates. So you pay a next year subscription. That means that we work for 1 year to make your product better. So each time you are getting your invoice paid, you have already 2 generations or 1 generation a better software, which is a multi-sector software sometimes. So that's a huge investment. This maybe a huge investment into a technology by the facility owner, but also please remember, Ines, that the price usually drops down. So if the price drops down for like a 1 year subscription, then the lifetime license, it's also hurts on the installer and the integrator. He's in the facility. He's getting the invoice paid by the customers and get his commission on top of that. So for him also changing this mindset when he gets a much more chunk of the money at the beginning, then trying to see if the next year, maybe the 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, if he will get a piece of it. That's some areas that we need to work on it, because the the final value for the end user is out of the question. He gets a better product year by year.
Yeah.
So working with the integrators, this is the role of all of us.
You opened a bit the Pandora's box there with your comment about being a full cloud. So there are many ways to configure a service and application. Can be full on premises, can be a combination of edge and cloud, can be full cloud. So this is also when a company has to decide how they offer the solution, this is a key factor. Humayun, you being in a company with a lot of expertise in this topic, what do you think? Is there a best combination, or how should a company decide on how to offer their solution?
I mean, various factors play a role. I mean, in a complex environment like the one that, or the complex region that we manage, it depends on the budget, the region, the country-specific regulatory specifics, the scalability, the centralized management. You can say in cases where I would say the connectivity is really good, you could go for a complete, cloud model. But in most cases where you're handling critical tasks locally, you could probably go for a hybrid model where, I would say critical tasks are done locally and data intensive tasks or processing is done in the cloud. On the other side, I mean, if you move completely to cloud, then you don't have to invest a lot in the hardware requirements. So it's purely customer centric, depending on the customer needs, their requirements, the journey. You could either offer a full cloud or a hybrid model. But to your earlier point, on educating the customers, I would say there are three critical factors from our sense. One is the technology know-how of the customer, where we see, do they have the IT staff to be able to do it themselves? The second factor for me is the CapEx OpEx model, how we can help them release the CapEx, which they could use as a cash flow to invest in areas which could help them improve and increase their business. And the last one, which is the most critical, is adaptability of new technologies quicker. If you go to the service model, in the past, if you see technologies would refresh 2 to 3 years time frame, now they're more quicker. They're probably in a year's time. So for the customer to be able to take advantage of that newer technology quicker, I think this service-based model is what works. And that's what we do ourselves and through our partners to educate the customers to be able to adapt this. That was your earlier question. But yeah, I mean, on your second question, it all depends on the customer journey and kind of business model.
Yeah. So education is, seems to be key here, and also the customer centric. There's no one solution that suits all. And also you also mentioned regions. So I know some regions don't like the full cloud solutions, but in the same region, you might have a small, medium enterprise to have, they prefer a specific approach, maybe hybrid, while a full enterprise, they might require more edge computing and more local processes. Yeah, so it's not an easy question, and there is no one solution that caters for everyone. In Qumuks, Leticia, what is your approach? Is cloud, is on premises, is both?
In Qumuks, we have a hybrid solution. It's an edge to cloud solution. So we can balance the processing load depending on the application and depending on the infrastructure. We are compatible with several control systems, and we have different ways to integrate with those control systems. So depending on the control system, depending on the project requirements, the privacy constraints and so on, we can adapt to more processing in the edge or more processing on the cloud.
And Marek, you said you're a full cloud. Have you been requested? Have you been tempted to move into an on-premises full solution? Have you been asked, and are you going to do it?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, we were asked about this. And being a startup, and this is also like a good lesson for everybody in a startup zone, is that we were thinking about the future, about the cloud, that everything is supposed to be online. And now having a product which is cloud-based only, we are getting this, knocking the doors and hearing those questions that you were just saying. So definitely we learned our lesson, and we are going towards the hybrid solution for special regions and the type of the customers as well, to have like a little bit something on premises and then talking to the cloud for the rest of the software. So for us, it was a tough decision because we, as I said, connecting several sectors around the property and the building management systems, especially facility management, asset management. So working with a software like IBM Maximo for the asset management, or Singu for the facility management, where everything is based on the cloud, and there is only that kind of the version. For us, it was obvious to connect the building management systems and building automations with the cloud as well. But I see that, yes, this is the future, but without the hybrid solution, there might be problems to be successful in that sector. So we are going towards the hybrid in that moment as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you mentioned education quite a few times, I think all of you, and KNX comes from an electrical manufacturing background, so, and always with on-premises installation. So IT was never the something in our scope at the beginning. Then KNX reached out to the IP industry already quite a few years ago in our own way. But basically, we just enable a communication with the IP with a minimum IT knowledge. But now with these applications and services and with this new approach with an API server that makes available KNX to this IT industry, it looks like at least on our side of the community, there some upskilling is required for the community to understand the IT. I don't know what is your Humayun, coming from the IT industry, and you also have your own partner systems for educating them into your equipment. Do you think, is this something feasible? How would you help a community to upskill in IT? I can't hear you. I think you are muted, Humayun.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's important for us to educate the customers, and for us to educate the partners and the customers as well. How can you transition from one-time system integration to offering ongoing services? Yeah, if you see in today's digital landscape, networking systems require regular updates, proactive maintenance, security monitoring to stay competitive and resilient against threats. Yeah. So by providing managed services, installers can ensure that their clients' systems remain optimized and secure. Our goal is to make sure that our partners and customers are educated on this on a regular basis, so that it helps their business grow and scale effectively. So there are multiple, I would say, efforts that we do on a regular basis to ensure that this reaches our customers as well as the partners. In fact, our partners are also well equipped to educate this, pass that message to our customers as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. So as a wrap up of this discussion, because we have 1 minute left, education is key. And we are still in a awareness phase. Happy to see companies like Kumux and SimLab being the forefront of this shift in the paradigm of how services are offered to the homes and buildings. And happy to see HPE Aruba Networking supporting this shift with the IT knowledge and infrastructure. So I think there are quite a few years ahead in front of us look very interesting and promising. So all the best for your activities. Thank you for joining this panel discussion. And yeah, this is going to be available as a recording for our community. I'm sure there's quite a few insights here for those who want to explore the applications and services and in the way you are doing it. I think this is a good foundation. So thank you very much. There's no more time for more. We could speak for more.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
I think we had a nice discussion, and thank you very much for your inputs.